Well, the free fall continues for the Tigers. They didn't get the start to the homestand they were hoping to get as they fell to the Tampa Bay Rays last night in Game 1 of the three-game set. Not looking good right now for the Tigers. Good afternoon or good day, everybody. Yours truly, Captain Lou, with another edition of Tigers Daily. And again, here in partnership with the Fan Arts Network. For those of you that are checking us out for the first time, I say welcome to the Tigers Daily family, and we invite you to subscribe and be a part of the conversation. We talk all things Tigers here on the network, the good, the bad, and everything in between, what's going on and off the diamond, the games from the night before, and, of course, we take a sneak peek at what's ahead for the Tigers as we're getting down to crunch time, about a month left in the Tiger season. For those of you that have subscribed and have been a part, I say thank you very much. The viewership's been off the charts, and this just proves that you're one of the best fan bases in all of professional sports, if not Major League Baseball. This is a tough time for the Tigers, and it's great to see everybody coming on every day and checking us out. And if it weren't for you, this wouldn't be possible. And again, I'm just a Tiger fan just like you. Maybe misery loves company right now. I don't know. But again, thanks to everybody that has taken time out to be with us here on Tigers Daily. All right, we mentioned it. Last night, we thought maybe a change of venue could change the fortunes of the Tigers. But then again, we run into one of the most hottest teams this year in Major League Baseball, the best team in the American League, and that is the Tampa Bay Rays, and they proved why last night. Drew Rasmussen, 6 strong innings, tamed the Tigers. Brian Baker got his 38th save. Us Tiger fans got to see what a closer really looks like. And I know he gave up a hit in the 9th inning, but he got a couple of strikeouts as well. And you never had that feeling that it was in doubt when the bullpen took over for Rasmussen last night. Again, the Tigers just could not get anything going. 5 hits in total. Brent Callahan got the RBI for the Tigers on the long sac fly. They had a couple of chances in the middle innings, but just couldn't get anything across. And Tampa, again, proved why they're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. Obviously, the best team in the American League. So I don't know what the Tigers do from here. Now they're going to have to dig down. Dig down deep. We've already asked that. They're not going to be able. I don't know. The white flag is nearby. Now, I know they're 4.5 games out of a wild card. If there really isn't a silver lining in that. The Guardians now are doing what the Guardians do. They're getting hot. I think they've won their 5th straight. Now they're back to 500. Seems like whenever they see that calendar get to September, which is right around the corner, they start to pick it up. And that's what good teams do and disciplined teams do. So right now they're at 65-65. So with the loss, the Tigers are now 9 games under 500. They are at 61-70 with 31 games to go in the regular season. So I don't know. What are the answers? It's just this team just seems like that if they've hit the wall, they had their run in June and July. I'm not going to blame injuries. I know it's like beating a dead horse. We don't have Skubal, we don't have Mize. I get all that. All of it factors in. There's just no doubt about it. Right now, I think the Tigers really are they're nothing better than a very good AAA ball club. That's the way they're playing right now. I'm not giving up yet because, anything can happen. But at this point right now, it looks bleak. We've got McGonigal still playing well. He got another hit last night. It was good to see Dylan Dingler get a hit. What a horrid slump he's been in, that 5 out of 55 slump. Hopefully he can break out of that. If nothing else, get the confidence back that he had really throughout the year coming into until middle of August. So Game 2 tonight for the Tigers. Jackson Jobe against Ian Seymour. Seymour at 9-4 this year. He's looking impressive. Well, they're all looking impressive for Tampa. And, again, they're the poster child for what an organization should be run like. And, low budget, one of the smaller markets. They seem to trot it out every year. So it's good to get a glimpse of what a first-class run organization really is. So tough loss for the Tigers last night. Let's see if they can rebound tonight in Game 2 of the 3-game set. Couple of moves yesterday. Well, actually, the big move, the Tigers signed a relief pitcher. And Tyler Kinley, he was let go by the Atlanta Braves a few days ago. He's a career reliever. His stats in his career, he's 25-19 in 391 games, 22 saves in his career, a pedestrian 4.67 earned run average. This year with the Braves, he was 6-5. So he was in the fifth and sixth inning a lot of the times, and towards the end of the game. Only one save this year. He's been in 42 innings. Again, no starts in his career, just as a relief pitcher. And the Tigers optioned Ty Madden to Toledo in the process. I'm surprised he lasted this long for the Tigers on the main roster, but, I mean, what else do we have right now? And Ricky Vanesco, we asked about him. He got called up. Well, he's been designated for assignment. So if nothing else, he'll clear waivers and will probably be optioned back down to Toledo as well. So minor move for the Tigers there. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get to see Tyler Kinley. Who knows? Maybe today. If not today, it'll definitely be in a bullpen game or whatever Detroit tries to do as they try to find answers with the bullpen. Now, again, last night's game, I'll give the Tigers bullpen their flowers. They had a couple of three innings of shutout relief. And, Framber Valdez 8 up innings, right? He gave up 8 hits, 3 earned runs. I mean, it's not like Detroit was down 9-1. But, when you can't get the bats, let's face it, the Tigers just can't put anything together right now. And so, anyways, we'll see what Tyler Kinley can bring to the Tigers here as they try to find their footing, try to find something. Let's face it, it's desperation time right now for the Tigers. 31 games left, 61-70. I mean, they've now got to go 20-11 to get to 81-81, and I'm not sure that's going to even get a wild card. A couple of weeks ago, that may have done it. 85 wins is going to have to get that wild card, just to be safe, and I think that's definitely right now the way they're going, out of the realm of possibility for the Tigers. So, again, let's see what Tyler Kinley can bring to the Tigers. Riley Green, as we mentioned, he's finishing his rehab now in Detroit, which means we could see him potentially still against Tampa. More than likely, we'll probably see him against the Dodgers this weekend. And, again, Brian Herter, he was in his rehab now, back in Detroit, checking in, I think mostly with coaches and whatnot. Remember, he was pulled off his rehab. They stopped it because his velocity wasn't there. So that tells me that he's not ready to come back to the Tigers. And then some of the other ones still waiting on Kerry Carpenter. I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Carpenter doesn't play again for the Tigers the rest of the year. I mean, why? He's can't run yet. That plantar fasciitis is just too much for him to overcome right now. I would be shocked. And, quite frankly, I'm to the point now, why do it? Let's give some of the younger sticks some major league experience from Toledo with the season just about at a wash. So that's what's going on with the Tigers right now as we go into the last 31 games of the regular season. Oh, and finally, Jack Flaherty threw from the mound for the first time on Sunday in Kansas City. I forgot to update you all on that yesterday. So, again, when is he coming back? Probably now. It's not going to be this week, obviously. I'm sure he's going to have to do at least one rehab start. Who knows? We might see him next week, maybe towards the end of the week. It's all speculation at this point with Flaherty. And, I had somebody called me last night and said, what have you heard on Verlander? Nothing. So, I would love to see Justin Verlander maybe get a cameo appearance towards the end of the year. Something tells me they'll have something brewing with him on their last homestand. So that's kind of a look at what's going on with the IL. And, again, our latest acquisition, Tyler Kinley, signed yesterday. So, obviously, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, a reminder, our brand new partner here with Tigers Daily, that being Kalshi, Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and make sure you use the promo code FanArchBaseball. And you will get, on your first trade of $10, you'll get $10 back. The stretch runs here, September, right around the corner. You can trade every game on Kalshi. And, You're trading against your peers, not against the house. The house has nothing to do with it. So, for example, today, if you trade on the Tigers, you put $10, you will get $25.30. So that kind of tells you the people are leaning heavily towards Tampa. So you can get in while it's hot now. If the numbers change a little bit later on, you can trade out of it and make a little bit of coin. That's how it works with Kalshi. So, again, Kalshi. When you download the app, use the promo code VanArchBaseball. And when you trade your first $10, you'll get $10 back. That's how it works with Kalshi. All right, now, again, with the Tigers in free fall, with the change in fortunes in the last couple of weeks, you could tell the frustration is even starting to hit with manager AJ Hinch. He came before the media yesterday, and you could see the defensiveness in his voice. You could tell he's starting to hit, it's starting to get at him. So he's human, just like the rest of us. And he was asked, what was different, what could change, and he's like, you guys, he was kind of throwing it back at the media, saying, for example, a couple of weeks ago you were all printing playoff tickets, and this is the same team, blah blah blah. Now I get it, coach speak. He wants to stick up for his guys, it's just he almost like he acted. This is the natural transgression with the way it is in baseball. Now again, I'm not gonna. If you think he's going to throw his players under the bus and blame a certain player for not performing, blah, 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 that's not going to happen with him. And one thing that I've noticed with AJ Hinch, he's always had that tone of he's smarter than everybody else, right? Even when things are not going so good. And so, I just, when I watch his press conferences, he's one of those managers, and I think when, he's got the he's got in his back pocket the thought that he's won a couple of World Series. He's won a World Series, nefariously or not. We could debate that on another program. So I think he feels that he's got that in his back pocket. But I look at that, and I watched him yesterday, and he's no different than this Tigers team right now. The players, it's starting to be desperation time for him. And again, he's backing up his players, which he should do, but when he's kind of blaming the media a little bit, with what really that kind of really got to me, that part of it, where he was saying how we were all printing playoff tickets when we shouldn't have, and this is the reality of the Tigers team right now, and they're not, they're trying, they're doing the best they can, they're just asking questions, they're looking, maybe for some answers that he's willing to give, and as always, he isn't willing to give anything. He's not willing to divulge anything. So I just saw that frustration level in him yesterday, and I thought, okay, here we go. All right, this is, this is what happens when your team suddenly goes in free fall like the Tigers have, losing, 9 out of their last 10 or 8 out of the last, whatever it's been. It's been bad, and so I guess now what I want to see out of him, he's got to prove to me in the last 31 games why he should be the manager of the Detroit Tigers in 2027 if we have baseball. And I know we're going to read some of the comments here in a little bit, and I think a lot of you now are starting to share some of that sentiment. What is he going to do to deserve to still be here in 2027? So, all right, before we get to the comments, again, a few things as we wrap it up here today. We could take a look at the standings in Major League Baseball, but here's something to keep in mind. If you're looking for a reason to watch the Tigers this weekend, if you're thinking of making a trip down to Comerica, now I heard on Monday that there's a possibility. The slot is open on Sunday that Shohei Ohtani might be getting the start for the Dodgers in that series finale against the Tigers. So keep that in mind. You've got Skubal now. He's going to be pitching on Friday. Originally, the rotation had him going on Saturday. It looks like he's going to be throwing on Friday. And Shohei Ohtani, it looks like that he might be getting the bump for the Dodgers on Sunday. So that's something we'll keep in mind. And, that might be a reason to watch the Tigers and the Dodgers. I hate to be that way if you're looking for reasons to watch the Tigers. But, it's just, as frustrating as they are to watch, maybe this is something where, some of the guys this might pick them up a little bit. I don't know. Again, I'm just looking for answers right now, just like you, but just some interesting tidbits as the 2-time reigning MVP in the National League, Shohei Ohtani, looks like he might take the bump for the Dodgers on Sunday, and that would be kind of cool to see as well. All right, let's take a look at the standings in Major League Baseball right now. Real quick, in the American League, Tampa, their lead is still 3.5 on the Yankees, 6 on the Red Sox. The White Sox lost again. The Guardians now 2.5 games back of the White Sox. As we mentioned, they've won 5 straight. The Twins, they won as well. So right now, the Guardians a couple up on the Twins. The Tigers are 7 back, and they're only 3.5 games up now on the Kansas City Royals. And in the West, the Rangers are now in first place as they are back to 500. The Astros are a game under, and the Mariners are 3 back. In the National League East, the Braves, they won. The Phillies lost. So 3.5 game lead now for the Braves in the National League East. The Central, the Brew Crew, their lead is at 5.5 over the Cubs. And in the West, the Dodgers won again. Their winning streak is at 6 games. They're now 9.5 games up on the Padres. And in that wild card race in the American League, the Guardians now have the top spot for the third and final wild card spot, I should say, as they've now got a half-game lead on the Astros for that third wild card. And the Twins and the Blue Jays now 2 back, the Orioles 2.5 back, the Mariners 3, and the Tigers have slid now to 4.5 back in the wild card. And in the National League, the Padres still holding on to that third and final wild card spot, 2 up on the Diamondbacks, 4 up on the Marlins, and 5 up on the Cardinals. All right, now let's take a look at some of the comments here from yesterday. And again, the engagement has been amazing. This is, again, why we are one of the most passionate fan bases in all of Major League Baseball. As tough as it's been, it's, I love the engagement. Let's see. Tubby Nuggets, Equine, Pig, 79-75. It's over now. We'll go 1-5 in the next 6. J.E. Coombe, get rid of AJ Hinch. I don't know why he acts like the smartest dude. Never liked the hire. Use Claude for the rest of the year. That's good. And again, Rock and Roy appreciating the shout out. I do not know what happened to Riley. Well, you know what? It's Riley Green to me is one of those guys. He's up and down, boy. He's streaky. And, you could kind of say the same thing about Javi Baez. I don't know about you, but it looked like he was kind of getting back. It looks like he's starting to get back to some of his undisciplined habits at the plate. And let's see. Ken Ozanich, 727. In March, I picked the Tigers to win 90 games. Ha, 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 ha. Well, you know what? You're probably not the only one. The Tigers, I think, were the consensus pick by a lot of people to win the division. They've been to the playoffs the last couple of years, and, obviously that hasn't happened. And it's, again, maybe these guys hit the wall. They reached their max. I don't know. And like Zach McKinstry and Matt Vierling, Riley Green, Javi Baez. I don't know. I mean, Richard Belker said, Lou, the question on my mind isn't will the Tigers make the playoffs? It's how badly would they get run over with the sad excuse of a bullpen and an offense. Let's face it, this is a bad team with a few bright spots and has too many holes to fill. Shake my head. Yeah, you're right. Couldn't have said it any better myself. So I agree with that. Gunnar Walters, after the upsetting road trip, I'm no longer holding my breath. I don't think AJ wants it, and frankly, I'd trade Torres for a well-used bat rack. At least it would be useful. Yeah, I mean Torres. I thought it was a good signing, and he did well for the Tigers during their run a couple of years ago. But I don't know, and I just look at facial expressions. You can see the frustration level in him right now, and I think that's really starting to set in for some of the other Tigers as well. And Benjamin Brewer, who is a frequent contributor in the comment section, and Benjamin, I really do appreciate you taking time out to do that. Quit making excuses for these clowns. No, again, how can I argue with stuff like that? I can't, 3 years of fading at the end. AJ must go, George Volrath. And there you go. That's why I ask, and that's why I think that he's got to prove why he should be here in 2027 if we have baseball. Got to use that caveat now from here on out, don't we? And again, I want to kind of clear something out here with Margaret Miracle 6605. I'm Steve, not Margie. Steve, I apologize. So, again, thanks for clarifying that. I won't call you that anymore. But, again, I appreciate you chiming in. And let's see, one more. Pat Hoyer, 5402. I'm surprised with how people are surprised with the way things have gone the last couple of weeks. This whole season has been looking like one of the best teams, then looking like one of the worst teams. I know. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? That's kind of what they looked like. But they had their run, and it looks like, again, that's all they can muster. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully they can go on one of those Colorado Rocky type runs from years back when they went 22-1 in their last 23. But like we just mentioned, I'm not going to hold my breath either. So just some of the comments. Again, I want to appreciate everybody that does take the time to write the comments. This is what makes it fun, even when we're in such a free fall right now with the Tigers. So please keep it up, and I really appreciate you taking time. Again, this is why I say we are one of the most passionate fan bases, and even for that matter, one of the most knowledgeable ones in all professional sports, especially in Major League Baseball. And please keep it up. I do appreciate it. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Tigers Daily. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Until then, Captain Lou saying keep a stiff upper lip. But really, Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long.